We're double checking the video. Somebody check on GMS Chicago on air live. It's on air live iTunes. Okay, okay, now it just popped up on. All right, okay.
Somebody hold Judith. Shalom, shalom. We are the say in their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elects that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like a speckled bird among the heathens, that look like the heathens, and to the few aquas that are listening and learning. To you we say shalom. We go right into this lesson. It's like every, the Lord does work in the and he used somebody get that scripture there about the poor word is not but he used these rich uh, two decades, 3 decades, three and a half decades. They've been given since 2007, and you would go to sources of who saying it first, but you want to then and then guiding you to this Negro consultant,
Ronald Dalton.
Ronald Dalton. Wasn't there. So teaching that Japhet is the white man. The job is in one video that the Northern Kingdom are Israelites. But for the most part, he's pushing a black narrative. And Esau, what Esau's trying to do is that the truth is out now. So they're trying to control the message and make it a black movement.
And make it and minimize it.
Yeah, they're trying to They're trying to make it a black movement. Then it really doesn't have any validity. And they're trying to use.
Does he say that?
All right. They're not saying the true name.
Okay.
Most important.
Because that's the gospel. That's the doctrine. How you ain't gonna get salvation without the name.
Any other name, somebody can grab that. So they're not saying the true name. We're gonna attack all these points. They're saying that the so-called white man is a lie, and then this guy is also saying that different heathens, that are actually really Japhetic people, are actually Israel. And somebody give to him. Israel. This is about and still, when you first got there. If you scattered amongst people that look absolutely nothing like you, all right, like all the jakes that are scattered throughout Asia, throughout China, Japan, Thailand, and Cambodia, and places like Vietnam, places like that. Isaiah 16:4, real quick. Let's roll these scriptures out.
I got the
Acts, whatever y'all got.
I got Acts 4 and 12, and I got Judas and Jack. So however you want to.
Con,
Which
we
one you
look
want
that
first?
you can later.
Okay, which one you want first?
Get that
Acts,
the name.
Acts 4 and 12. Neither, let me go up one verse. And so,
Proverbs 30 and 4, somebody.
Acts 4 and 11. This is the stone which was not of you builders, which has become the head of the corner. He's talking about Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Neither is there salvation in any other name than you can couple that with Proverbs. What is my son's name, if thou canst tell? The Lord is very part of that great falling away first. So now coming back into the truth, you have to have that name. It's no other name under heaven that you can't call on Christ. Christ is not going to save you. You can call on Buddha, Allah, sweet Jesus. All that shit ain't going to work. You have to call on the name of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man.
Con, get that Proverbs 30 and 4, Papa Shah.
This Proverbs
Yeah,
30.
already had it on deck.
Okay.
This Proverbs 30 and 4. Who have ascended up into heaven or descended? Who have gathered the wind in his fist?
So we know that Yahweh Shai was given the power to create, right? First spirit created, and then he, the spirits that he created, they created everything. He's the one that descended that other, and then no one done that. So it's asking you a question. All right, read.
It says, who have bound the waters in a garment? Who have...
That's an amazing thing to think about it, man. It wasn't until I got into this truth where my mind began to even ponder that thing. Like, for example, I remember watching a show about these Cayman down in Brazil. Out of Brazil. But those rivers are fresh water, and the ocean is salt water. And there's like an invisible barrier there. Who did that? Why isn't the ocean just going right on up into those rivers? All right? Because hey, man, come on, man. But you people think that there is, some people still just believe in everything was accidental, the Big Bang Theory and all that kind of bullshit.
So much order in nature and all this by
right. I once heard somebody give the most perfect example, and I've heard of it. All right, on as far as the Big Bang Theory. Dictionary around here? Anywhere? Any dictionary? Just hand me a book.
I got the dictionary.
Just hand me an example.
Here you go.
Okay. Dictionary. Now imagine that I'm in a paper factory, and it blows up, and there's absolutely nothing left. It's nothing but rubble, rocks, wood, bricks, soot, burn, and out of the middle of that is obviously out in alphabetical order with all the definitions and all the breakdowns. All right. There is no way on God's green earth that can happen. Just like there's no way in Yahweh's universe that the earth could just happen. Right? You got an explosion, and then you got a perfectly set out dictionary
Out of chaos order.
Right. With every Bible alphabetized,
right,
broken down with meanings and spellings.
The book has, in this particular case, the Bible, the Word of God, has everything lined out that would happen in the different ages that would happen and complete those. What they're gonna do. Here it is. The prophets are telling you what you're gonna do. Why? Because the prophets are telling you the word of God through the spirit and power of the Most High God. The Most High God telling you through the prophets what He gonna do. And here it is. The word is right there. all through the spirit and power of the Most High God. So it's really the Most High God.
This is a team because that which may be known of the Most High is manifest in them. For the Most High have chosen being understood by the things that are made, even as eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse. You have to be a fool to believe that this thing that we see and live on this planet wasn't created.
That's right.
All right, everything, like it says, is made by head. Everything is made by wisdom. That's why the sun heats us up. We don't get cold because of that. All right, we have it's earthful, even in nature, how different creatures rely on each other.
Synergy.
Synergy.
No, that's not the word. But
Symbiotic.
yeah.
Symbiotic.
Is a colorful fish, therefore they attract a lot of predators. When you see an enemy, which paralyzes everything else. If it was real, the clownfish wouldn't exist anymore. They would have died off because they wanted to see an enemy. But they rely on each other. The sit enemy, all right. Then it eats, and then it comes out.
That's right.
It's food to the sin enemy, which does not like that.
1 Corinthians 14:40 says, "Do all
Yeah, that's
things."
amazing. The Lord said, you can just observe in nature itself shows you that God, and it also shows you that God is not all love, because nature can be cruel as hell, man.
That's right.
Damn, it's scary.
All things in order.
Hey, you know, I took a picture of it too, but I was walking my dogs earlier, man, and I saw something on the ground. You know, and the dog started like running, and I'm pulling back. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And it looked like, you know, I saw it furry and shit, and I thought it was a baby squirrel. I say, well, damn, and a baby squirrel dies, and I'm trying to right here. I'm like, where the rest of the body at? And it looked like it had been ripped off. So something ripped this, you know, and the forest preserve is 2 blocks away from me. Y'all cotton shit, you know, deer. And
I've seen them poking out of there.
I'm like, damn, what the hell did this to this damn rabbit where his head was just ripped off?
That's right. See, there's an order in nature, from even in the genome code, the DNA sequence, and so forth to the hydrological cycle. You cannot have 1,000 orders, actually hundreds of thousands of orders, come up. The order of the fish, the order of the cat, the order, all from a big bang, all of this chaos. Yeah. That's the most. That's it.
And so, just the regular definition of reason. Everything come from the Most High God. You know what I'm saying? You still holding that scripture? So check this reason is, you know what I'm saying? So if you can hit that scripture real quick.
Con, this is Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12. I'm starting 11.
Okay.
For wickedness condemned by her own things.
Mm-hmm.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the
No. All that. Breaking. You know what I'm saying? You don't know the things happen, where the source is. The source of everything come from the Most High. Everything. Yahweh Shai is his righteousness. Yahweh Shai is the prophecies. Is light. Yahweh Shai is life. Just real quick, because right here in this Psalms, but the Lord made are idols. They come from the mind of a man. In Baruch 3, you can't, say, oh, this is particular. No, you can't account none. Given this lead that leads to righteousness, because it says that the scriptures is the instruction. Exactly.
Collectively,
Mm-hmm.
when you collectively, Jake is very poor. But we're the richest people on the planet because of what
is to get what we're about to get and be made worthy for the kingdom of heaven. So we had to go through the ups and the downs.
Yeah, we're gonna make the Rothschilds look like deadbeats.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Because righteously, they walking around with fucking I was watching this fucking weird video, and the dude was at the Bean downtown, and this Edomite walks up for photography. Said, some crazy number to take these pictures for him. So he took the pictures and showed him, his work and shit. And he talked about his shoes. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to give him a new pair. I'm finally going to get a new pair. There's a hole in his shoes. He finally get a new pair." This is a rich Edomite.
I had a client like that. Yeah. This dude has so much money, man, and you've heard me talk about him before. This was a client that he paid me very well. Mm-hmm. He gave me an extra $1,000 on top of my fee that I charged for the services. All right.
Just some GB.
Yeah, just because he liked me, because he, and he with his Irish accent, but that dude would literally wear his shoes until they had holes in them.
Yeah, that's what
he drove my car. The dude could afford it. Now I had other clients that that were richer than him or on the same level. You went to the house. They had Rolls Royce and Benzes. Drove a late model car. It was an Infiniti, but it was an old Infiniti that he just didn't want to get rid of.
Yeah. See,
and he could drive. He could sit in the back seat down the road and have somebody driving around all day. Yeah. But you're right. They don't know how to enjoy.
Yep.
What they're
because it's not meant for them.
Clearly.
That's that Sarah not coming for a nigga.
That's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. And that's why the scriptures talking about, in the kingdom, look, we're going to have streets of gold.
Brother.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have gates of pearls. Because these are things the Lord gave us to enjoy.
Right.
Not to hoard up. It says.
I was going to say, we're going to do everything in the balance of Yahweh Shai. See, what these nations, the wicked and, just being carnal and carnal-minded, you're all out of balance. All right? You're all out of balance. But everything is going to be, when we rule with the righteousness of the Most High God, which is a perfect balance.
And see, first of all, Solomon tells you about wisdom and wealth. He said, It's foolish to go spend your whole life, make all this money, then pass it on to somebody
That's
who
no dumb-
so you know what,
dumb
some
He just
That's
gonna
gonna
mess it
fuck
up.
it
a
up.
fool to fuck it up. But if you go back to King Solomon and you look at how rich he was and how everybody was rich, he saw them himself. He wants everything, keep everything to
It's his
himself.
curse.
Yes.
It's his curse. You know, the serpent was cursed to go upon
His belly, yeah.
He's programmed to go after his desires, only his desires. He never
For
really
himself.
gets to even enjoy it because he
He's
needs
insatiable.
it all. He's insatiable.
Yeah.
He's as death.
But
The
yeah.
proverb says that the grave it mentions three
Yep.
things.
Cannot
It
be
mentions the
satisfied.
horse leech, and then the one thing that can be satisfied is the grave. The grave is always ready for a new body. All right, motherfuckers die all day.
Every
Damn.
day.
And it says he that
Right,
searches
every
after
day.
silver, he that searches for
Every day.
silver would not be satisfied with it.
Man.
That's
Yeah.
Esau.
That's
He can't be
crazy.
Esau got control over all the countries and they except for two. He's ready to risk it all to grab these last two countries, man. That's his.
Man,
That's
You're
his
right.
record.
You're absolutely right. He's so stupid. He don't even know when he's won.
Understanding
Go ahead, brother. You got a point? Let him.
Yeah, I just
Go
want a
ahead.
quick ass point. Salaki. I was thinking, because I was thinking to myself, we pulled up to capacity.
Yeah, capacity.
No.
He put up the thing.
No,
Hey, you ain't on the list.
Yeah. This is Numbers 24:7, and this is to back you up about how we're gonna really have riches. It says Numbers 24:7, and his kingdom shall be exalted.
Hey, and that's raw. Just raw as fuck because Agag wasn't even king getting that numbers, man. Agag didn't become king until King Saul. That's what King Saul was supposed to kill. That just fucked me up. It's like,
So hey, and that who was Agag? He was an Amalekite.
Amalek. Oh, you can't say that.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I'm anti-Sim.
I'm anti-me.
But that's what it is.
We don't even use SIM cards no more.
Yeah, right. Still using the motherfuckers. But that's what it is, man. Hey, we're gonna be way richer than these Amalekites, man. You know.
What is it for stone? We should have brass.
Yeah.
Brass. We should have silver.
That's right.
After
Yeah,
silver,
we gonna
should have-
show up.
If you look at King Solomon's kingdom, I mean, first of all, a lion on every single step coming up. You're talking about if you go in the book of Josephus.
Salaki.
My high photo here.
Right. If you all this it wasn't silverware. It was gold. It was reported that it was even reported that.
This is why the scripture say.
Let him finish that scripture.
To back
there.
up,
Go ahead.
to back up Elder Wright said, Esau is the basis of all men because speaking of gold cups. When you read the book of Esther, it talks about Elon when he was ruling with his golden cups.
Right.
And them bitches them having
That's right.
gold cups. Everybody had their own design.
That's it.
The cups didn't even look the same.
Their
Every
own
cup
chalice.
had its own fucking design, bro.
And it was reported that if
Esau
a
hurt,
fly
man.
landed on one of them motherfucking, one of them gold
throw it
and
away.
silver, they'll take it. No, they don't throw it away.
They melt it down.
They'll go melt it down and go put it right back into and they'll recast it.
Yeah, he had
You know?
brass that looked. He had copper that looked like gold. It said that the silver was nothing to be accounted over. It was nothing. Bro.
That was because and that's how rich these streets is gonna be. It's gonna look how many streets are here now, and these hard ass concrete mountainous ass shit.
You consider how many of our people is gonna be, you know,
Yes.
we're gonna need a lot of. Let me push the shot back into these scriptures. We running on too much.
30 and 4. Who have ascended or have many fists? Who have boundaries the garden? Who have established all? What is his name? And what is his son's name? If thou canst tell.
So that's the important of the Bible, man. Like Ronald Dalton is saying Yeshua or
That's
and correct. thing that important thing that he goes off of. Secondly, he's not who Esau Edom is. He's saying that Japhet is Saul, and we times which we're gonna do again.
Yes.
All right, that the Japhites were brown skinned people.
I'm just putting him in the notes.
Yeah, in time frame. And even in that book, there knows no color line. The Greeks at the time during the Spartans, the Romans. All right, they yeah, exactly. At this time, the art of the Greeks was showing you little black kids, Negroes, and
Oh, you know, yeah, it's right. That's why I didn't pay that no attention.
and it even showed you the currency of the Maccabees, and they were all Negroes. So so when you look at the currency of the Maccabees, then who are these white people screaming anti-Semitism? All right. So who could they be?
Come on, man.
All right. So these are Minoans. These are your actual Greeks. These somebody get first real quick. First Maccabees.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just run through it real quick.
The first chapter.
The first verse.
Yep, it sure does. Tell
All
us.
right.
And that's it. You all don't read. You know, that's why the scripture says, "Blessed is he that readeth."
Yeah, and these people that headdress that you see Romans and Greeks wear,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
got it.
even that they show you that the Spartans were wearing. We don't know if the Spartans were really wearing that, but they were living in this area, and that was part of the headdress that these people wore.
Yep.
And you know, and the Hawaiians and the Samoans. Their ceremonial dress, they still
do that to this
they
day.
still have that to this day. So that was them.
That's right.
They were those people. You know, the people in the islands of Fuji. They call them the Fiji Islands in Salakia. Right. So you know your Samoans, your Hawaiians.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Tongans. Yeah, those people.
And that's the scripture.
You know, those were your Greeks, your actual Greeks. Those were the Japhetic people. The people in Tasmania, the people in Australia, and that's another. He said the people in Australia are Israelites. No, they're not. Now, are there Israelites among them? Yes. Baruch 2:30, real quick.
Didn't the British send the outcasts of Britain to Australia? Those are the lowest of Edomites, man.
Yeah, they sent all them murderers over there, and a lot of the movies about what was happening during the time that they got there, be brutal. What happens? All right.
Baruch 2 and 30 when you read.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
There it is. So our people are going to wake up to who they are. And strangely enough, even though this video is going off, it's still serving a purpose to serve Yahweh Bashim Shai.
That's right.
You can't do anything against the truth, only
before
for
the
it,
truth,
because
that's
Kapo pointed out that as of a couple days ago, it was 2.1 billion people had researched or watched this from Negroes to Hebrews thing.
Beautiful.
Now, even though it goes off, it still gives you a large element of truth.
That's right.
All right,
and
because
because
it plants a seed and it makes people do their own research and understanding. Because the truth of the matter is that the so-called Negroes are Hebrews. All right, okay, but it's way more than that. But if you would, you can go ahead and read that scripture. No, that was good. That was the point, that they got scattered among them. All right, our people got scattered among all races. So when this guy, when he's finding Hebrew relics in Australia or Hebrew relics in Tasmania, we were scattered among all people.
So like, and all them dark skinned relics ain't Israelites either.
That's right.
Because all the nations got melanin except for Edom.
Exactly. That's what he's going to call them. All right. That's right. Look at a lot of old back. And I wish my other laptop up, because I have pictures like this one here where you'll see the dark skin, long, like and one come from over there. They got that long draping hair, and this is men. This is men right here. You said who? Oh, Paul. Well, you know, he probably is Jake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're mixed with them too. All right. But
True.
but these were the original. Give him one, and then we won. We are the original. I mean, they were the original people that was living over in Greek. So who got the second address? I mean, the Maccabees. The
I got
first
the
one.
Maccabees.
Go ahead.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. It says, "And it happened, after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece."
Oh, the first of Greece was there for a year, hundreds and thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
That land, he's the first one there.
Yeah.
If you go into their history, I think it's in the book of Psalms. They go into a land and name it after themselves, call it after their own names, and next thing you know, or assimilate and say, "Hey, we're these people now." You look at the Esau Edomites. He's the ancient. They played the samurai. Who what's his name? What's the last time? Tom Cruise played a samurai? You go to El Cid, he's the Arab.
Right.
You go to Moses and the Ben Hur, whatever. He's the Israelites.
Yeah.
He everybody.
Yeah. So they go to these particular lands and then they pow, 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 and kill everybody and be like, "Look what we found."
It's my shit.
You know what I'm saying?
I am a Macedonian now.
No. They'll say no. First they discover you. Then they pew pew pew.
Okay.
Right.
And then
Right.
they find
Right, and then they found you.
you.
Right.
And
So-
then
Because
they're
they befriend you first.
Right.
They don't, they come. What was that movie that? Hey, that
Hit you with that.
I want this mic to and take island and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. I identity, take my shit. So now I'm that guy anymore. Esau has, you know why he's done that? Because he's one of the top. He really is,
Exactly.
which is the Esau Edom, the Edomites. That right there, you're not gonna find. Why isn't that common knowledge that Esau Edom is the so-called white man? Because they don't want that one to be associated. Because if you go into the Zion events we just picked up, it says that their end is they're the only group of people, no hope of anything except destruction, no mercy. They're gonna be completely destroyed. Listen, well, we're not going to identify with that because then everybody we the goddamn devil.
Yeah, and that's what this is really all about. Esau trying to remain hidden, but he can't. You're already exposed, man.
Mm-hmm.
With this Second Thessalonians 2:8 is in full play, man. You're done. You're exposed. All right.
You want to keep going in the beat?
No, to verse 10, and we could probably jump there and go to like 7, where his men put on.
So, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted and his heart was lifted up. Now I'll jump down to verse 7. It says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one in his place. And after his death, the death of Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Great like they call him, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves."
So they anointed and crowned themselves?
Yep.
See, according to the scriptures, in order to be a king, you must be anointed and crowned by someone else.
That's right.
Someone has to give the authority and anoint you. What's the word?
Coronation.
Coronation.
The what?
But that's a good one. But the one I'm ordained. Ordained, you have to be ordained to be a king in that kingdom. He says the Most High setteth up kingdom. He taketh down kingdoms. That's what Jeremiah. I believe that rather. There's a couple of different places. He sets up kingdoms and tear down kingdoms. sets up thrones, tear down thrones. That's the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You can't just say, you know what? I'm king. I want to be king. And put a crown upon your own motherfucking head. And this is what they did. This is what Esau Edom does.
Yeah, and the areas that they took over were basically, you know, right? Well, damn, it's on the map right
That's why I got to put it up.
Yeah, yeah. They took over the whole known world, and mainly and most importantly, they took over Asia Minor there, and the Northeast African area. Canaan.
Right.
They took over that whole area, man.
That's why they call it Asia.
All right.
The
Okay.
general Scipio Asiaticus
Yeah.
conquered that
because
side.
because look, there is no such. But matter of fact, they basically recalling Asia Minor the Middle East, damn near. Because look, you got Northeast Africa, you got Asia Minor, and the rest of Asia. All right, and then in the land of Canaan, up above it, and so I mean that it is what it is. So these people just put crowns upon themselves and said that they're, you know, they're kings now. We're kings.
That's right.
They made themselves royalty the same way they did. Fast forward to the future, the same way you got those people over there in Britain today, saying that they're the royals. They're not royals at all.
That's right.
But Yak, did you read verse with the wicked?
I was getting to that
Go ahead,
right
brother.
now. Yep. So verse 9, back in this first Maccabees chapter 1, verse 9, it says, after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Ooh. Wait a minute. So when they came on the scene beforehand, it was kind of cool and not that bad.
Well, it was like I always
evil,
say,
man.
evils is more an addition
Right.
as opposed to multiplication. So because evil still increase every day, you know what I'm saying? That's what the evil seed does.
Right, it grows
produces
little by
right.
little.
So it was addition. But when Esau Edom got into power,
Multiplied
it was
ways.
multiplication. You know what I'm saying?
They grew expeditiously.
Oh man, right. It was like if every day it was
Exponential
a
growth.
block added.
It's exponential growth.
Right with them when they got in power,
Hey,
it was
and
like a mile of wickedness added.
And they
You know
grew
what
like
I'm saying?
flies on shit, man.
Yeah.
Right.
One, you see a big pile of shit that a dog or animal let out, and you see one fly. Next thing you know, you can't see the shit because it's covered in flies. That was Esau. That's how their wickedness spread,
What this,
and they turned the world into shit, basically.
what they'll say, y'all was killing each other anyway before we came over
Which
here.
was a complete and total lie.
Exactly.
All right. And million
Buffalo.
no natives.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
you know, you look at all and say, we all members of 500 million, you know, of our brothers and sisters were annihilated, destroyed either by weapon of war or by terroristic disease. The smallpox, that was a terroristic attack.
That was
That was
biological warfare.
That was a terroristic. So the world's true terrorist is Esau Edom, the so-called
That's
white
his
man.
MO.
This is Joel 3, and I'm gonna just start it for.
Start over.
Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? The Hamites, the Philistines are Arabs, not the real Philistines, right? Hamites and Arabs into Esau's hands, right? We bring the defense, and he reckons me swiftly and speedily. Piss upon your own head. Because you have you might remove them far from their border. Now, you know, Greece ain't far from Israel. 9. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 right? Now I turned the whole captivity to Edom.
Mm-hmm.
And remember not the brotherly covenant. So who did they sell us to? It's the Grecians who took over, which are the Edomites.
Which links right back to the scripture in First Maccabees he just read. That was on point, brother.
That's it. And the legacy is your pants are down, Esau, Edom. I just put the map up here where you see Greece here, and right on the other side of the sea.
Let's go to the listeners, anyone who might be new. All right, when the captivity was given up to the Grecians, to Edom, we're talking about the Grecians that took over what you call Europe today. Pan back out. And so you look at Bulgaria and Serbia and Romania, Moldavia, Ukraine, Croatia, East Edom took all of that over. Poland, Belarus, you know, they took all over because all around places that we're looking at for the most part. Outside of the places east, Lithuania and you know and all that.
Well, this is where we push them to.
But we pushed them into there.
Yeah.
But Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Serbia, Croatia, Austria, Germany, all the way back over to Ireland, and even down to Spain and Portugal. Mm-hmm. Those were all Israelites, man.
Constantine
that became the ruling. Here's the reason why there's so much hatred of Esau. The truly Edomite knows this, right? It was so-called Negroes that destroyed their precious Roman.
That's right.
And so that's why they came so hard against us when they got us back in slavery again, because they knew that history.
Yep.
And they didn't want us to wait. That's why they decided to hide our identity, fulfilling prophecy. Right. Jeremiah 17:4. They decided to hide our identity so that we wouldn't know who we were.
Smashing the
and
noses.
then that's when that Judah's gonna come into play.
Right.
After they hit our heritage from us, all right. Then they used the law, statutes, and commandments against us by getting us to conform to their form of Christianity, which goes off in this wickedness.
That's it.
Getting us to conform to Islam and all these other things. We weren't obeying our power to use our own sin as a weapon against us to keep us on the bottom.
I got it.
Because they would not operate for us. Our power would not fight for us or protect us when we were going off. But go ahead, brother.
That's the Judas.
This was a perfect plan.
This is Judas 5. I'm just going to go straight to the point at 18.
And how can you just ignore this much evidence? You can't continue. Mm-hmm. Like I said, eventually they're going to have to just shut down the internet.
That's right.
Because their own Google, their own sources of information back up the things that we said. And I know there's lots of things that we've used on the internet over the years that they've scrubbed from the internet already. That's lots of stuff we used to go to, right, to God?
Yeah, we used to pop it in, go poof.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is gone.
The algorithms, they changed. Matter of fact, you had to go to Bing or you had to go to Duck, whatever, and then you still have to know how to ask the right questions to find the right information, because now they suppress it so much. We used to, and how we know this, we used to go to this like quick. We used to, put in a certain thing on Google, bam, we got it up, and we say, hey, see? Now I'm doing like this, and I'm just scrolling down, going to pages, and I'd be like, okay, and I gotta do this. That was in the movie I Robot, and it was Esau telling on himself, saying you have to ask the right question. If you don't ask the right question, I'm not gonna give you the right answer, because I don't want you to know the truth.
You just said that too. That's another thing. We'll Yahweh Rogers out. We'll get to that some other time. This robot technology and AI technology is getting out of hand. This shit is getting crazy, man.
It's a lot. Right now, you got the little hat celebrities. They trying to get taken. Anything that's Israelite, they try to get certain books taken down, all this stuff. Amazon and so they pushing that. So they found a word. So they're gonna use this as a vehicle, basically scrub the internet, scrub everything they got. It's like
Good,
exactly.
Good.
Perfect. Could I read this quote for you real quick? It's every brothers are familiar with it. But you mentioned the world, how Jake was running this thing, right? And not only Jake, the rest of the world also has that melanin. This is, Benjamin Franklin. He says, why should Pennsylvania, founded by English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so new? Which they just fucking took over this bitch. They calling them aliens already, whoever else comes, right? who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us instead of amplifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion.
Right.
So let your German not the complexion.
And when they were coming over, let me add to what you read. Though all those that were coming and that were already here, they were often referred to as Huguenots. All right, and the Huguenots was basically code for Israelites. They were Israelites who had who either were practicing, the law, statutes, and commandments in secret, or they were practicing more silently. They were Muslims, but they were still Israelites. All right. So the Huguenots, basically, what's the famous character? They were there in the time of the 13 colonies. They actually established the 13 colonies, and it makes no sense why God didn't kill everybody, because a lot of Jakes were into and did that. That's what I said. But then Esau took everything over and fucked everybody over. That's what happened. Go ahead, brother.
Then he says, which leads me to add one remark, that the number of purely white people in the world is proportionably very small, which is what it says.
That's it.
Small amongst the nations. All Africa is black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. See, on TV they show you the fair, they call it the fair. Over dark.
Wow.
On TV, you know?
You look at all the in black Huguenots.
Because you can put black Hebrews, because Esau whitewashed everything.
Yeah, he whitewashed the history, because you got to think about it. What was the guy named Paul Revere?
Yes.
I watched a video where Cootie Merrill went heavy in on Paul Revere's bloodline, and Paul Revere was a Negro. But we've been taught in school, we always see an image of a so-called white man. So the dude who made the famous ride, "The British Are Coming," all right, he was one of them sellout-ass Huguenots, because a lot of them Huguenots was putting Jake into slavery.
Just like
They
Shakespeare.
bunch of sellouts, but nevertheless, they were a lot. They were not so-called white people, man.
Just like you go over to this time period during the Dark Ages. They call it the Dark Ages because they were dark-skinned people ruling. All right, we had
Is that his complete works?
No, this is a document about his life.
Oh,
But they got a picture that their pictures of him, which of course he got kinky hair and he was a light-skinned nigga. All right, he was a light brown skinned man. All right, but you have to go into the relics and see. You don't go do research. You're not gonna see this shit, because what you see in school, in the universities, and the grammar schools are the narratives and their misinformation, their miseducation, which they tell you all the time that they do. All right, for them to even come out and say in Texas, yeah, we're just taking slavery out the books, and then they actually publish new books and got your children going to so-called schools, the full system, and they're learning no history about the slaves coming over here on slave ships. They tell you, and they do this right in your face. So if you don't go do your own research, like the Bereans, if you don't go out there and go look, there's the pull scroll. Yeah, you don't scroll down and you go and look at this.
Ain't that the nigga they make the mascot of?
D'Artagnan?
Yeah.
Yeah, D'Artagnan. The Three Musketeers people. Yeah.
No, that's what it is.
No.
I'm talking about Gav.
No, you're talking about the Iron Man. Gavin Hawk. Guy Fawkes.
Yeah, the anonymous man.
Yeah, right here.
That's the dude, ain't it?
It kind of looks
That's the
like
rebellions. It says rebellions.
the Huguenot Rebellion. Yeah. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
based off a nigga too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. That was the time period. And read about the end. This was the end part of that all this history just passed, and they were coming into power.
See, so you see these pictures right here where you had the niggas in afros, right? So to this day,
that's why I brought it up. What you're reading, that Esau was taking over what the Huguenots have built here in America.
Yep.
And then they whitewashed the history as if it were them.
Exactly. To this day, Parliament.
So we didn't have that understanding until now.
If you go to Parliament to this day, they'll come up in their ceremonial garbs and wear those same so-called wigs, but those were indicative of the afros that they had in the olden pictures, so they can usurp.
And the fact some of them have big curly hair because they had Edomite wives and concubines, and some of them just came out that way.
This is it.
It's more in this quote too.
Go ahead, brother.
Real good. All Africa's black or tawny. Asia chiefly tawny. Think
Look
of
up tawny.
Cambodia.
Look up the word tawny. I know what it means, but we want, you know, the new people that may be watching to know, or anyone who will see this.
And the Asians being taught that doctor that the light skinned guy like saw Negroes and shit. They try to say, oh, these no, those Negroes was Negroes.
Con.
You know, so they also the shame
that was a show that just came out not too long ago. Which was produced by Bruce. And a lot of them was Jake. The way they were dying and suffering, you know.
Yeah.
They were under the curses.
And under the hand of Esau, they came in and ran through when they ran through their neighborhoods, like when Esau got mad at so-called Jake for whistling at a woman or doing whatever the fuck, they came in and
raped, they killed, they jailed with impunity.
Yep.
God.
Go ahead, brother.
And just for the record, this on the right hand side, those are all the tawny colors, what you see from light brown to basically medium brown.
So there you go. Those are the tawny people, and that's what that was one of the definitions that was used to describe Native Americans in 1683 in Virginia. Right around the same time that the white man was classified, he classified himself as white, as he self-proclaimed himself white. In law and documents, he also had proclaimed that the Negro and the Native were the same people, and they already were. And he just read. You just read tawny. There's another word, swarthy.
Yeah, that's coming up.
Go ahead.
Literally everything you just said is literally coming up. Watch. So it says Asia chiefly tawny. Then it says America, exclusive of the newcomers. So the original Americans, not the newcomers, right? Wholly so. So completely, all the natives are black or tawny. It says wholly so.
There it is.
And in Europe,
right?
It's like,
so a lot of these Negroes in America that were saying that they Indians, many of, you know, we were with the Apostle Elder last night, you know, and he's tawny, right? But he's a so-called Negro.
That's right.
All right.
And when you go to the powwow, where some brothers went today, and you'll see a lot of natives.
They're dark.
Well, a lot of them are dark, and then you see a lot of them that have been schooled because they eat them, just like
well, on that show that we watched, it showed you how they were raping.
Yes.
And breeding the native women.
All right. At that powwow, you seen some that could have passed for
Esau, and then some as dark as night. And that's what you're going to have. And the Lord said, "My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird." So you're going to get super dark to super light. Ephraim is a cake not turned.
That's
right. You're going to have them super looking ass versus looking ass.
One of the dark skin.
There you go. That's beautiful.
And in Europe,
to me,
and in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians,
info or something.
And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, Russians, look all Russian icons. All right, you're gonna see niggas.
That's right.
Russians and Swedes, black.
Did we not just show the map? You could bring it back, Brother Bob. We show that map of Europe that you had up earlier. We just showed you the map. Now look, take a look at the map as he reads it. I told you. All right. We're the prophets of the Lord. We're the true men of the Lord, and we told you. We weren't lying to you when we told you that this was ruled over by so-called Negroes, and one of America's founding forefathers that they celebrate.
Yeah.
He backs us up. He lets you know that it was so.
So
but trust me, believe, we need to download that and print it out so that we can have it, because they're gonna scrub that off the internet eventually.
And just
it's being used a lot now, because I got it saved in my phone on the regular page. So when it pop up, boom, I can go right to it.
Now you see these.
I'm in battle all the time. I'm not doing the work just here.
That's right.
Hell, I'm in a damn coffee shop going at it with people.
That's it. Because it's 24/7. That's right.
Exactly.
And I understand. This the worst. And you see the empire. This is Europe. I'm just going from this picture to this picture showing you they ran all of this after the fall of Rome. Rome was
but all they want to talk about is African.
Mhm.
We're no goddamn funky doodoo ass eating Africans, man.
That's right. And
Right.
they said that it used to be the Roman Empire, and then it became the Holy Roman Empire. It became the Holy Roman Empire when Jake took it over. It was the Caesar before Septimius Severus. I forget his name. I think he was the first so-called. They'll say
Actually,
black
it was,
African Caesar.
it was a war. It was a war. Jake was fighting each other and killing each other. It was Persinius Niger,
Okay.
who lost a battle to Septimius Severus. After first they smashed the Edomites, and then they went against each other because they both were jockeying and fighting to be the emperor.
Top dog, right?
And Septimius Severus ended up defeating Persinius Niger,
That's
and
right.
who people will ignorantly call Niger,
Niger,
because
right.
it's actually pronounced nigger.
And if you go into the
It is
book,
actually pronounced nigger, and
Man, I'm
it
gonna
wasn't.
show-
It didn't have and it wasn't a
Strong
negative
shade.
word. It was just a description.
It means dark.
It didn't mean. How it means. Ignorant and negative connotations on it now was not on it in the ancient time and time ago.
Well, see,
Exactly.
if you do your research, you'll see it, because if you go into Scripture, somebody get Acts 13. Yeah, I'm about to pull
That word is pronounced.
I'm about to
nigger.
pull the strong. I'm about to pull it. I'm gonna let Esau. I'm gonna let Esau tell on himself. Right? But you can read the Scripture, brother, and I'm just gonna pull it up right now.
This is Acts 13:1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger.
Niger.
That's Niger. See, it says Niger, the Niger River.
And then it's still, and even if you were pronouncing it Niger, which is erroneous, which is not right, which is not true, it still means the same thing. All right.
Strong's G 3526. Niger. Niger.
Nigga.
My nigga.
And it's right there in the Scriptures. That nigga's in the Scriptures. And then it said Simeon, the nigga, the black.
And you know what? In New York, they got to a point where they didn't want to say niggas, so they would say, "What up, my black?" They say the same damn thing.
That's it.
What
That's
up,
it.
black? What up, black?
That's a lot. Even though the baby boomers don't say they were. Don't say shit. I just want to classify as Negro.
And this is on the screen. You'll see it says N-E-E. When you get a double E, it's not as a net. It's need. All right, Neger.
Yeah.
And it says of Latin origin. Neger means equals
I'm
black.
see if I actually if it's in my evidence folder, because I took a screenshot of the definition.
When they say black, it means very dark brown.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Yeah, put that out there.
Well, that goes
and
into
it's spelled,
Sakar.
and it's N-I, it's double G. It's not a double E, it's double G.
Right.
In the definition. So they doctored up that
Yeah,
definition.
For that, you want me to keep going?
Go ahead, keep going.
Con. And in Europe, put the map back up.
I'm pulling right back.
And in Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, French, so French niggas. All right, Russians, Swedish niggas.
Yeah, what was that? Right, what was that dude? You want to talk some shit?
Right.
Black niggas.
And see, you gotta
White
remember.
niggas.
Now remember.
Jewish niggas.
What you gonna call me on the Shabbat?
Hey, now, first empty, all these so-called dark people here, they were all over this whole
Found
region
it.
here, and here you go. That's the same region. This right here during the time of the fall of the Roman Empire until approximately around the
Late
13,
1300s.
1400s or so forth, when Edom came from Georgia right here. That Caucasus Mountains is right here in Georgia, in this region right here, east of the Black Sea. This is where we have pushed the Edomites into to the Caucasians into this region. They to this day will call themselves European, when if you're a Caucasian by name, what you say you are, you could not be European, because Europe is over here. All right, you all came out of those mountains, start coming over here this way and that way and across the sea, and coming over here, and then the Lord
Came
took
back
us
into
down.
power.
Right, the
All
Lord
right,
took
but
us
here
down.
I got that definition. This is nigger. This is from the Winston Simplified Encyclopedia Dictionary with biblical references, 1931, and it reads. Can you see it? What does that say, brother?
Read it for me.
Can you see it? No. Can you see that, brother?
Nigger.
Spell it.
Niger. And it says nigger, dark skinned one, a Negro.
And what's the phonetic spell? The Latin spelling.
The Latin spelling is Niger, but it's still right here. It gives you the pronunciation.
It gives you the pronunciation.
And that little dip thing that's over the I,
right,
means it's a ne.
Right.
Because if it was a line, it would be an I.
Now,
and it's not a line over. It's not a line.
Put this on the camera.
If you send it to me,
take it to each camera. Want me to send it to you?
No, just send it to. If you send it to me, and then I'll put it up in the.
All right. Let me knock this out. French, Russians, and Swedes are generally what called as fortune, as are the Germans also. They're not the real who would accept it, who would make the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. I could wish their numbers were increased. They were smaller numbers. Why Esau just play with the numbers, man. All right. And while we
calls us himself the majority and calls us the minority.
And while we are, as I may call it, scarring our planet by clearing America of woods and so making this, so that's why we see America like it is.
Yes, right.
This side, making this side of our globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants in Mars or Venus. Why should we, in the sight of superior beings, darken its people? Why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America, where we have so fair an opportunity by excluding all blacks and tawnies of increasing the lovely. This is heavy. Increasing the lovely white and red. All right. When you read the Leviticus, the curse of leprosy, it says reddish, whitish skin. Edom has the mark of Cain, that curse of leprosy. All right. Edom has the curse of leprosy. They are the wicked. The so-called white man who's really red, as he said himself.
Man, and that is literal and figurative. The Lord calls you bloody, man. You look red in the blood. Your blood shows in the face, and all your actions are committing blood acts, murder, death, kill. All right. He's a criminal, right? Crimson. That's it. That's it. Khan. I put on the screen now. I just reshare. So now this, I'm going to blow this up and just so you can screen, and the brothers who got the cameras, this is what you don't like. All right. Now, if the word was Niger, right over the I here and the parentheticals when they try to break down the word right here under the mouse, this would be a straight line. All right, a straight line like this right here, a straight line. That's a dip. That means that's not nigh. It's nigga. All right.
Now pan back out. I mean, just the spelling of the word itself.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't And they removed this definition from all modern day dictionaries.
Yes, there's nowhere.
So and it tells you, look, it says Niger, all right. I mean nigger it's pronounced when you see that Niger, it's not Niger, it's nigger.
That's right.
All right, and then it says French, negre, France. I mean Spain, negro, dark skinned one, Latin, Niger. It's nigger, black, a Negro, usually now. Usually a contemptuous or vulgar
it wasn't
term.
originally. Yeah.
So it wasn't. It is now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You understand? So when you read, somebody get that Acts 13:1 again. So when you read the scripture, in times of past, if you were at that time when Jake was ruling Europe, when the so-called black man was ruling, right? Man, it was a contemptuous term. It did become a contemptuous term until after the 1600s when the slave trade began.
Okay, and it's funny
Right.
that you say that because right there where it says a Negro, now usually a contemptuous or vulgar term.
Just read that, brother.
Okay, but that word Negro, that was on my birth certificate.
Wow.
That was on my birth certificate. I remember seeing that in 7th grade on my birth certificate.
Well, there it is. Well, because we were Negroes, then we were blacks, then we were colored.
And then after
Some people's
80s,
some people's birth certificate says colored.
that's it.
All right.
That's right.
Hey, so like, do you say it's a difference? I mean, a long time he said a difference between colored and Negro. Colored part more like when you had Gaday blood in your background, something like
No. Because sometimes that could have been used for them too. Often they would call some mulattoes.
Oh, okay.
Because I was trying to use my, trying to use Esau's bullshit system to get money for school and all that shit. Use my grandmother, but when I finally was able to gather up her get a hold of her birth certificate, it said what they call him? What's the word? Matisse or what do they call him? Malito or some shit like that.
Mestizo.
You know.
See, and this is a perfect. If you go into the old picture, see, in the before the cameras and and photography, they would make paintings and they would commission people to make paintings. This is why Esau went through the Renaissance period and iconoclasm to go ahead on and take away the dark images in the Russian icons that the elder brother mentioned earlier, to the icons of the Moors. That's in nature's no color lines, and to like the Shakespearean picture I just showed in the book right here. If you go look at the ancient this is
William Shakespeare, right?
You put that in front of your camera and yours,
right?
And then that they won't show the true images because they will give you the image on the right hand side to go ahead on and to promote their ideology. Their ideology that they were the people.
Yeah,
right?
the aristocratic. They wanted to wash out us as being aristocrats and put themselves.
We made those castles. We made those lands, and we did those things.
And
they
it's funny
didn't
you
do
say
that
because of the fact that when Shatia took all them pictures.
Right.
Type of thing. Oh, okay.
Just watch
It goes
Zuma look like he's a mole in effect.
I see that.
Mm.
I'm trying to say that Montezuma
Hey, 501c3.
I got wearing the likeness of their images.
perfect.
And that's in their images covering up everything, destroying us.
Why it says
The Kellogg's factory over there, forming Cleveland Ellis factory on the 100 East, and on that floor, Mosaic was they got like the Cleveland Elves.
Yeah.
This Cleveland Elf was black, straight up Negro, man. See, they had a lot of shit, man, and stuff,
Yeah, well, Esau pussy hurt right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. His truth is coming out, and he's just butthurt about it.
You get it.
But you need to really be mad at your own forefathers.
Right.
All right, don't be because now he's coming out, and this all he's gonna tell you all this truth. Then he's gonna tell you that they don't know what the Lord looks like. In the Bible,
This Jesus
high Renaissance Leonardo da Vinci. Da Vinci created an image of Jesus Christ based upon his close friendship with Caesar Borgia, who was the
Now, stop,
illegitimate
pause.
Alexander.
Now, who's been telling you that, since
That was his apostles.
Exactly. All right, and
Hardcore.
we've been telling you that the Israelites have been on the highways and byways, telling you this. What before 2007, but since 2007 on YouTube and social media platforms. All right, and now this heathen is telling you exactly what we've been saying all along. Everybody's jumping on the Hebrew bandwagon all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to go off. But let him continue, because then he's going to tell the great big old lie.
In the 1500s, the rumor has it, according to French writer Alexander Dumas, the fact that Jesus Christ was ethnically Jewish did not sit well with the Catholic Church due to the rejection of the Jewish people.
Which is a lie, because the Catholic Church is in cahoots with the Judaism completely. That's why the Pope wears a yarmulke. No, it wasn't because it was ethnically Jewish, because of the so-called Jews. Isaiah 14:2, and then we'll let this continue, and you'll see the lie he's about to tell.
And you know how the Roman Empire went from the Roman Empire to the Holy Roman Empire?
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the Catholic Church used to be the Catholic Church, and it became the Roman Catholic Church. As soon as Esau took it over, they changed it to the Roman Catholic Church. It wasn't called the Roman Catholic Church beforehand. It was called the Catholic Church, which meant universal. So it's like a flip-flop. When they came into power, they usurped the authority from the so-called black popes that were running things, and the
Borgia family took over.
They took it over.
And
they got movies about it.
They're referred to as the world's first crime family.
That's right.
But go ahead and read that Isaiah 14 and 2, and then watch this lie that this asshole tells.
This Isaiah 14 and 2. And the people shall take them and bring them
So
to...
I got what you got. This Jeremiah 14:2. Judah morning.
Jeremiah, Salaki.
That's all good.
You know what I meant.
Judah morning. Yeah, brother. Context out. Clues. Judah morning, and the gates thereof languish. They are blackened to the ground, and the crowd of Jerusalem is gone up.
There it is. So it said the Jews are blackened to the ground. That's why they didn't want to use them. And so basically, that's why they didn't want to use the actual he was. They Cesare Borgia instead.
And the Pope in the background,
so he can tell a lie.
And behind the scenes, he was a black dominant.
Yeah.
He bows down to a black image. That painting is still, when they go to the balcony, and then he go back in the doors behind the balcony, how they show it, that image is still up, right there. That big ass painting of a black Madonna. And he bows to that.
You're right, let the video
kind of. So like I was just giving the imagery that the brother just pulled up, because a lot of people don't know that
right,
this
Madonna means the lady,
right,
Mary.
and this is common knowledge if you do any kind of, that why is the so-called Pope bowing to a black so-called Madonna and a black baby so-called
I've heard. Jesus. I had a Polish chick that I used to deal with many years ago, and she told me that they were all in Poland. They were always praying to and bowing down to a black.
The question is, the people that made it have to be melanated themselves.
Exactly.
Black into the ground right here. Black into the ground.
Esau got the papacy, and what did they do? They put their images up. Job 9:24. They covered the face of the judges thereof.
That's right. And the heathens like to paint the images. Was that in Maccabees?
That's why we played
Yeah, he read it. But go ahead, brother.
As a result.
I was gonna. Are you gonna let that play out?
Yeah, let it play and then bring out your scripture.
Okay.
Their predatory lending practices and the rejection of Jesus Christ. Thus, Da Vinci sought to make Jesus look less Middle Eastern and more European. The depiction has stuck for hundreds of years.
Stop.
And
see, we just showed that the Europeans were not white people.
That's right.
They became white people. So this guy is, even though he's trying to tell you about Cesare Borgia, he's still lying his ass off. And do we not always tell you that Esau gives you the truth, but then tells you lies at the same time? Now I don't have to do a video on this because it's coming out now, because I was.
The knowledge, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's what Esau does. He gives you truth and mix it with lies. This is Psalms 58 and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. He said so much shit that cut out the truth of what's being said here. But then he used that fucking term Middle Eastern. And when you hear Middle Eastern, you think of fucking Arabs, think of Ishmael. But when you really go into it, all right, like the Palestinians, Palestine goes to the word Philistines. Those are Africans.
That's right.
When you go into who had our land before, we fucked them up.
Canaan.
Through the power of the Lord is the Canaanites,
That's it.
which are Africans. So you say Middle Eastern, the average mind don't think about black ass people.
They
They
think
think
Arabs.
about hairy ass camel riding,
Mhm.
motherfucking Arabian Nights
Sand-
singing
sand
fucking
niggas.
Arabs, man.
Sad niggas.
All right, that's fucking deceit right there.
That's
The
absolutely
Messiah ain't no Middle Eastern Arab looking hairy
bastard.
camel eating motherfucker, man.
They don't want to admit the truth. So this is what we tell you. The truth. Esau is hurt, man. But we gonna finish it, brother. Then you bring out that your point.
have used this to represent our state, but it's intimidating. Black contrary to his nature. But
We read. That's why I had to read Jeremiah 14:2 first. It
That's
just
right.
told you that the Jews were black unto the ground.
That's just right.
And that's just one of many. Bring out your point, brother.
Yes, sir.
Anybody want to use
Like
that
you
video?
just said,
Please do some lessons
Job
on it.
9:24 says the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. They covereth the faces of our judges thereof. And this is Lamentations 4:8. It says, their visage is blacker than a coal.
That's right,
It's
Our
what?
faces are blacker than a coal.
That's right.
We're not known here in the streets. We're not known here in America
That's
as
right.
being the biblical and true Hebrews of the Bible. But we are. And it says our skin, it withereth. It has become like a stick. And that's because when they had Jerusalem surrounded, our water supply got depleted. Our food got depleted.
And guess what? When you get
That's
so-called
dark. You actually
Negro
get darker.
and a famine and they get hungry, their skin gets darker and darker and
You
darker.
love that shine.
That's it.
Can you please put a picture of the Jewish people during the Holocaust and their skeletons? It's
Yeah,
gonna show
so-
they don't turn dark and they die and they'll get sick.
Oh yeah, when they was getting famished.
Yeah.
They didn't
Matter of
know.
fact, no. Let's not even go there. With don't pull up no any. Leave them fucking. Them fake.
No,
Yeah.
Niggas
Yeah.
can't fire me. I can say anti-Semitic
Yeah.
shit.
We let's not do
They gonna
that.
delete our
Okay,
video.
well, hold on. Can we put
But we know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We gonna mention it. He's talking about all those images, those people that weren't dark. They didn't turn dark, and it had nothing to do with what the scriptures were saying. But we're not gonna put up those images. We don't even want to draw that.
Right,
fuck
drawing
them.
it down.
All right.
Did you still want to finish this video? Or?
No, when he said that we don't, the brother, we just gave you two scriptures, all right, that gave you the definite what the Jews look like. You go ahead and get Hebrews 7:14 while you at it.
And
then
Revelation
somebody-
is the first chapter.
Get Revelation, and then and then we'll finish with Isaiah 25:7. So
they
get
can look
those
up for
three.
themselves?
Those three scriptures. They can look that up for themselves, brother. We don't wanna.
Right.
Yeah, because you start fucking with that H word and that camps and they don't like that's what they waiting
The
for.
Lyme
Right.
disease
We
camps.
want the Hebrews 7:14.
Go ahead, brother.
For it is evident. Those out of
That was just explicit description of what the Jews looked like, and that the Lord sprang out of Jew. All right.
Who did?
Yeah. Why is
called
that he?
Jesus.
Why is that he?
Esau
The Lord exposed
the
him.
Ku Klux Klan, what they call us, the mud people. You're the mud people.
Yeah, thank
that's
you.
the seed of Adam.
Thank
Adama
you.
means
From
word
the
Adam
ground.
goes to the word Adama, which means ground.
Not
It
red.
does not go back to Idam,
Right.
which means red. It
Right.
goes back to Adama.
Yeah, and
Which means
that's a
ground.
lot of vocabulary these Christians like to use. They always try to say that use the word, the definition of ruddy with Esau. David was ruddy. He was handsome in that brownish red. He's right. All right.
Yeah.
But
And he was calling him young.
But Esau was never referred to as ruddy. He was referred to as red. Red and ruddy are not the same thing. They have, they-
100%.
so that's some bullshit. That was a new speak in them trying to lie or cover their tracks. But go ahead, bring out those last three scriptures, Bible Kushal.
It's Revelations 1:13. And in the midst of the seven candles,
Give me some brass,
one like unto the Son of Man,
like brass.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Mm-hmm.
and girded above with the pales with a golden girdle. His head and his hair were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
His head tone was afro, his hair tone was beard.
Kind. Like he had
No,
a
that was
real
perfect.
white beard, woolly beard. And who have woolly hair? Negroes.
The Negro texture,
Mhm.
wool. The Negro texture, the hair of the Negro texture hair. I'm trying to remember how the definition was. The old dictionary you had out of Malcolm. When you looked up wool,
Con.
the old dictionary, the
Con,
texture
con.
of Negro hair.
Yeah, the texture of Negro
What was
hair.
that,
man.
1920s?
I believe, you know what, I'm gonna have to go back and put that, I think, put that in my evidence folder.
Hey, Melda.
No, because he's
And it also goes right back to old Tony Swarty, how he was describing the Europeans as being tawny and swarthy.
Now, I tell you, Elder Malcolm, the Negro slave Jews used to comb their hair with the same comb they comb with the wool, so the sheep.
The sheep, right.
Yeah.
So
verse 15. And his feet likened to fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
So that's what he said. Burned. That's why you say you put burnt brass is even darker than unburnt brass. If you get brass, it will be a little golden looking. All right.
That's burnt.
But this right here is burnt brass, which means it's dark brown. All right. And you see the different shades of tawny. All right. From a brown, then you got an umber, then a sepia, and whatever these other names, whatever.
Why does it matter though?
It's because the Most High, everything written aforetime was written for our learning. The Lord put it in there for a reason.
And that's what that guy said. If you would have kept listening, he said the Bible doesn't tell us, and it really doesn't matter. So that's a typical Christian, Christianism lying, man. That
Exactly.
That's that's a typical lie that they tell.
Another
It
thing-
does matter, because if it didn't matter, the Lord wouldn't have put it in the Bible.
And they got so many lies they try to pull this. They say, no, it's not burnt brass, it's burnished brass.
Oh, it's glowing.
You know which means shining or glowing. But and it just, I grabbed it just for the sake of, because I know what they like to say. We need to hear you. To hear you. This is demonic. Pick the root. So whatever. It says to burn with fire. To be on fire, to burn. All right.
See, but look at brass though. Anyway, it still will fall into the tawny,
Right.
brownish, still of the earth. Because even that one picture that was of the ground, you have light brown sand to dark brown sand. You have light brown dirt to light dark brown dirt. It's still not Esau Edom reddish skin. So you still fucked anyway. That's why Esau, he'd like to throw those things for semantics and argument points, but it's bullshit.
They can't. Because if it says as if burnt in a furnace, but burnt in a furnace, like I said, in heat treating, when you run something through a furnace, carbon builds on it. And when it comes out that other end, it's got soot. That soot is burnt the same color as this.
And when you
Nice.
There you go.
When you burn brass, you're gonna have to stop burning it, and then what? It's dark.
Like I said, it's soot. When we used to run stuff through a furnace to harden it, we have to open up the pores on the metal so the carbon can go. It took on soot in the process of. Okay, we would have to put this down in tumblers with all rocks and water to pull the soot off of it. Period. So the scripture is absolutely descriptive when it says as in a furnace.
So, like I said, a complete descriptive analogies, definitions, and breakdowns in the Bible of what the Lord looked like, and these people saying, hey, like that liar said, this is because the Bible doesn't tell us, and it doesn't, man. If it didn't matter, that's why these people got so upset when Kanye said that how can I be anti-Semitic? How can you be anti what you are?
And then another thing is, you read Genesis 50:11, the Israelites were mistaken for Egyptians by the Canaanites.
God.
And what you do, see, I don't use the high I use the ancient wooden Egyptian figures, but they clearly show them a dark brown people with some woolly hair.
God.
So those ancient Egyptians.
Yahweh's parents hid them among the Egyptians.
That's right.
All right. Moses was taken like God said, the Israelites were mourning. Murph likes to bring that scripture.
Over time. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Wasn't there a couple more scriptures what we have? Go ahead. Yeah, drop it on. Give them the people's elbow off the top rope.
St. John's 14 and 7, it reads, if you have known me, you should have known my Father also. And from henceforth, ye know him and have seen him. Just like the land backing off Matah's description in that Revelations 1 and 13, you know, description of him. And then also in Daniel 7 and 9, it tells you the Ancient of Days did sit on the throne. You know, and his hair was woolly as wool, you know. So, I mean, you know, add insult to injury, man. The Father and the Son, man. You have no win in this. You have no fight.
You checkmated him, brother. Checkmate. Hey, look, so, yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Hey, so with
I got that Isaiah for you.
Which one?
Isaiah 25:7.
Oh, Salaki. Go ahead, brother.
This is Isaiah 25:7. He will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over and the veil that is spread over all.
Right. You heard Nancy say all they can do is sexy fine. Girl, ass and titties to try to distract dumbass Jake, you know, from getting his dollars.
All right. Click it, don't get a virus.
All right. And you're going to click on and get a virus.
That's it.
All right. So, you know, read it again, Baruch.
This is Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people.
And that's YouTube that's behind it.
Yeah.
Now, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I've seen the president of YouTube is a small hatter. And of course is a woman.
Oh man.
So you know they're gonna elevate the woman over the man. So
he will destroy this mountain, the face of the covering cast over all people.
See, so you had the old, real Mozart being a dark-skinned man to the what's portrayed now in their paintings today. That's part of that covering cast. The Israelites were, according to Revelations, the first chapter, hair of wool, skin of brass, as if it burnt in the furnace. Job 30 and 30, my skin is black upon me and burnt with heat. Songs of Solomon, the first chapter, I'm black but comely are your daughters of Jerusalem. We brought out the one in Jeremiah, the black into the ground. You have to go into the precepts, you got to go into the history, and they're going to show you a whole different story versus the narratives that you're going to hear today.
Yeah, and ultimately, you know, even in a wider aspect of just simply the truth, because just like the title of the video, you know, how this guy who made this movie, he's not a prophet. He's not teaching the truth, the 100% truth that's needed for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding for the stability of your times and the strength of your salvation.
Right.
And just like the title also says, that came out of the truth came out of One West, which right now the Lord is using his prophets, who the top men on the earth are the prophets of the great millstones, starting off with the apostles on down, and that's all through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's pushing out his truth, because the lies are all being exposed and the truth is coming out.
One last scripture, brother. Could you get it?
I was just about to read one, but I'll get whatever you want me to get.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8.
I'll put it on the screen.
All right. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Now finish what you're going to finish.
Oh, okay.
Then read that one last.
Okay, got you. This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 6. It says, be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. Because it's only one counsel that leads to salvation and life everlasting, and that's Yahushua. That's the record that God gave his son. That's the words of God in truth. And he is the one that's putting it in his men to speak that 100% truth, that one counsel that comes from the mind of the Most High God. All other counsels, all other mindsets, all right, leads to death.
And you know why we know it's true? That one counsel, that one truth? Because for speaking it, we're hated of men.
That's it.
If everyone was praising and loving us, you know,
We ain't doing it
we
right.
ain't do exactly
Yeah.
because people, the majority of people, the masses of the multitude are gonna be against the truth.
That the one council is coming to conquer all other councils.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So all other councils, they gonna be mad at the one council that's saying, "Hey,
You can't do that no more.
exactly."
Well, you know what? I'm in charge.
Exactly. And so people don't want that. They want to be able to do what they want to do.
You need to unask that.
Speak to us a lot.
Exactly. So this is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 8. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed."
And that's why they hate us so much. And the Lord said He will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Right now, we're been through the power of Yahweh Shai exposing Esau so bad. Now it's spilling out to the planet, regular people, heathens, and Israelites to the Amalekites. Everyone's hearing this narrative. Everyone is seeing that shit don't match up.
Yeah, and it's funny how Edomites are quiet and weird now.
Right.
Especially the ones that I've known that and have heard me speak like this all along. They like, you know, they don't know what to say because
You stood staunchly in the
you know,
face of this, and we all have.
It says.
hell, I lost, you know, damn near all my clients behind this truth, man.
Yeah. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed." It's being revealed by the light, the true truth. It says anything that make manifest is light. Anything that doth make manifest, anything that reveals, that is light. So the light, the truth, the one counsel of the Most High God is revealing all other counsels to be unrighteous, to be wicked. All right. So it says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." When Yahweh Shai, who is the word, come, all other words get destroyed.
That's it.
Any word that exalts itself against Yahweh Shai
Will be stamped out.
That's it. And this is what we're telling you all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is the one counsel where you were producing for what the Most High is all about, which is righteousness, which is life.
Everything else is gonna be hewed in pieces like Samuel did
Agag when he was brought
right?
to him.
And so
That's
with
right.
that, man, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory
Unto Yah.
Wa Abba Baba.